This healing quest we've been on for the past 10 years has many, many wonderful aspects.
Yes, but one of the best parts is the opportunity to meet some truly amazing innovators and healers.
That's why we think you're really going to like the subject of our next report, who is an amazing trailblazer.
Bear Walker's healing skills span an impressive range from high-tech expertise to Native American wisdom.
I'm an earth medicine practitioner, which means I use the teachings of my grandfather that go back in our lineage 7 generations of healers within the Bear clan. And I also honor the studies that I've done since then, which have taken me around the world and through many different incredible practices here in the U.S. I grew up in a Anishinaabe reservation between northern Michigan and Canada, in an area called the Thunder Bay. By the time I was 18, I left the land. I left the reservation, the forest land. I did my undergraduate, most of my original studies were in naturopathic medicine in Toronto.
Bear then did a residency in clinical ecologies at the University of Pittsburgh, followed by a stint at NASA involving a space-age diagnostic system.
I was able to explain to them what the testing meant across the board to how the whole body works. So I was there for off and on 2 years, and then I've been in private practice developing integrated programs with such hospitals as Columbia Presbyterian or Beth Israel for over 25 years. The particular equipment I use is called a biotracker. So we're still looking at that lingering bacteria in the area of the throat. That's still something we have to work with. The whole science is called electrodermal. Electrodermal is the utilization of the body's GSR markers, galvanic skin resistant markers, to evaluate different systems of the body. The throat shows improvements though. Now we're looking at ear and sinuses that are a little more congested. Are you feeling that as well?
Yeah.
It's used extensively across the United States. It's used in Europe. I've had a chance to teach this in London at the Hale Clinic, in Vienna at the International Integrated Medical Association in Munich. I've been to Korea teaching this equipment. I've really been around the world showing doctors and people how this equipment works.
Bear says the system is also effective for clients who can't come to his offices in New York City and Connecticut.
They can actually send me a saliva sample, and with that saliva sample off their DNA, I'm able to do all the same testing I could do if they're in person.
Lakin Berg is a star athlete in Northeast Missouri. She's been swimming competitively since she was 4, but not too long ago she began to have difficulties.
It was a couple years ago, and she was going to swim practice, and after practice she would say, you know, I'm not really breathing very well. I'm having a hard time breathing.
And then like the only place I really noticed it, only swimming, usually.
So it felt. And what did you think was going on?
I didn't know, I thought that I just was maybe sick sometimes or couldn't breathe.
A friend told Lakin and her mom about Bear Walker, so they sent him a Q-tip with a DNA sample of Lakin. Bear responded with major changes to her diet.
I would say within the first month, she was breathing so much better in the water, and it was just tremendous. I couldn't believe it.
Bear also focused on the minerals in Lakin's diet.
We do the Q-tip test with him at least once a quarter, and different times he'll say, hey, right now she's running low on potassium. We need to make sure she has more potassium. You know, there's a lot of times she needs the calcium supplement, the Cell Wellness calcium, those type of things.
Elizabeth Sampson sought Bear's help in person for an extreme case of adrenal fatigue.
I ended up in ICU. It was a 4-day stay in the hospital. Right after my hospital stay, I ended up coming to see Bear, and he did all the testing on me with the machine. And what they found out was that, in fact, my adrenals were completely exhausted, and I was very, very, very sick. So he started me on a regimen. I was on herbals, I was on homeopathic, and I was also on the Cell Wellness. And he had me on the detox, the fumic detox, and he also had me on the superior trace minerals.
Bear says he's increasingly concerned about the effects of genetically modified organisms.
Some of the things that are being created chemically in this world right now, sadly, are going intercellular way faster than they were before, including things that are GMOs and things like that that are really, really toxins in our society.
He also says bioenergetic testing can actually detect GMO exposure at a cellular level.
Within my computer system, I can tell a person's not only exposure to, but how much that exposure is actually affecting their cells. Because everybody is likely to have had an exposure. You have a 99% chance today, unless you've eaten very, very carefully, to have eaten a GMO-based food. Statistically speaking, over 90% of the people need to have something that they can take that can cleanse out the intercellular fluids.
To help deal with that, Bear co-founded a firm that's developed dietary supplements to provide nutrients at a cellular level. Bear says that support is needed now more than ever. He's increasingly finding a shortage of magnesium in his clients because of plants grown in soil depleted by chemical fertilizers and pesticides.
You have over 300 enzymes and cofactors in your body. Every one of them have magnesium in the cycle. I guarantee you're not getting in your diet. That's why trace minerals. But trace minerals is more than magnesium. It's the combination of magnesium, manganese, copper, which is an important micro trace unit, iodine, zinc, all these things that are so important for cell function.
In his career so far, Bear says he's met and worked with over 50,000 patients. He says keeping cells healthy is increasingly difficult in our toxic world. But he also says it can be done with help from modern technology and the Native American earth medicine he now carries forward.
Bear is an incredible combination of ancient wisdom and modern technology.
He's amazing. And if you'd like to learn more about his bioenergetic testing and his approach to cellular health, we have the link for you at healingquest.tv.